America, we are up in at the bunker out here. We're going to unload, and I wanted to explain just a couple little things here. First of all, you got to pull up on the scale, and they get a loaded weight, your gross loaded weight. And after you get done with this, you run over to the unloading area, and they take all the grain off, and then they come back and you weigh you empty. And the net weight is how much the grain weighed. And that's how you get paid on the weight of the grain. But then you go inside, and they have to take a sample. So as we walk around the front of the truck here, you'll see this sampling machine, and what it does, it sucks a sample of the wheat or whatever kind of grain you have out of the truck. There you see it probe. It's a probe. It's what they call it. It's a vacuum, and it sucks it inside. And then when they get it inside, they weigh it, they test it, and they separate it. This here is finding out how much junk is in it. Things other than wheat. It separates all the different kinds of wheats out, grains and seeds and rocks and all the other things that are in there. This is a protein analyzer. I think it runs off of ultraviolet light or something, they told me. And it tells you how much protein is in the wheat. Then you come around here. This is a test weight machine and a moisture content machine, and that what it does, it samples out an exact measurement and then weighs it, and that helps determine the price of the wheat. So then we walk up here. Oh yeah, this is the dirt outside. It just gets pulverized. So many trucks driving over, it ends up getting pulverized into this fine powder. Okay, this is the unloading machine. It's a conveyor belt system, and there you go. The little short conveyor goes up to the bigger conveyor. We saw this earlier on another video, and it goes all the way to the top, and it drops in. There your load's delivered. Where am I at? Am I in Death Valley or something? No, I'm in a wheat field. Believe it or not, this is a wheat field. It's a damaged wheat field. What happened, it got flooded out. Remember I told you all summer or all spring this year, the Midwest got tons and tons of rain. As we know, Nebraska got a huge bunch of flooding. Oklahoma got a bunch of flooding. Kansas, we didn't get a lot of flooding. We got lots of rain though up here. And it flooded out portions of fields in it. This isn't a good example of a field that got flooded out. What happens is that's higher ground up there. It's actually a circle, an irrigation circle. It's got corn on it right now. And where I'm standing is in the corners. You got a square box, and then you have a circle inside, okay? So the corners, those pieces of corners on each end, that's where I'm standing right now. And it just happens to be a low spot. Well, the water runs down through here. Normally it might be a little muddy right in through here, but nothing more than that. This year it rained and it just kind of filled this area up. And why didn't it keep running? Well, right over here, those telephone poles, right over here, there's a road that runs up to where my truck is. It's a dirt road, a little low. It's not even a gravel road. It's just a dirt road that kind of goes into a field out here. And that is slightly higher than here. Therefore, this filled up. And normally it would fill up and soak in, fill up and soak in. Well, it filled up and it kept raining, and it flooded this area out, and it killed the wheat that was here, because they planted this whole thing through here with wheat. When it was green this spring, it flooded it out and killed it. So now it's a dead area. So what they'll do is they'll measure out all this stuff and they'll turn that into insurance, and this will be insurance flood damage, okay? The rest of the field is great though. Been doing really good. So that's what we're doing here, and where am I going with that? I guess that's all I really had on that. So, oh, I noticed another little thing. Look at all these little frogs. There's frogs everywhere. Let me turn you around here. Come on, camera. Look at these little frogs. There's a little frog. There's another one right over here. There's two. There's one. There's a little frog. See him going. There's another one over here somewhere. There he is. These little frogs running around. Why are the frogs in a desert, a dead area? Well, if you look, that looks real bone dry. That's just the topsoil, the very top. If you break this out, look at all that moisture underneath. That's mud. That's actually still wet and muddy right there. So you wouldn't want to drive a tractor or combine here. You might get stuck in this. It's just that. So you wouldn't want to drive a tractor or a combine or something in here. You might get stuck because the crust is dried out and all deserty looking, but it's very moist underneath there, which is a good thing. You want to hold your moisture in the ground. So we've had plenty of moisture this year, which is, like I said, we've had a lot. It's been hard to get into the fields. At least that's what Kirk's been telling me. It's hard to get into the fields, but when we do, the crops are loving it. So it's just timing, trying to get it all fit in. You got all this work to do and you only got so many days to do it. So anyway, we'll see what else I can find. Anyway, these guys are working. I'm working real hard for YouTube, and the grain cart sleeping. He's gonna kick my butt for saying that. Well, it's getting toward the end of the day. I think this might be my last load. Well, I'll probably just last load here, and then we'll reload and then unload it in the morning. But we got down here, this big conveyor belt gizmo. They're getting ready to readjust it and move it. So let's sit there and watch. They just move that out of the way. And then this thing here, this is self-propelled. This man in the gray shirt, he's actually operating it. It's got some switches right there. There's a motor, chain drive. Chain drives that wheel. And I've already moved it. I missed it. And what they do is, now that they've moved it, they got to add another aeration pipe. So they're putting this plastic down. They're putting the plastic down, and then this pipe will join right here, and they'll bring that around and clamp that tight. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Now they're going to reposition the ramp. What the ramp is for is so the trucks can drive up over a conveyor belt. They don't have to have a pit. You wouldn't want to put a pit here because it'd end up getting buried over time. So this man's telling the driver to line up. There's the loader without a bucket. And they'll bring this right up here. They know about where to put it. That conveyor belt will get to going and it'll fling it. Our conveyor belt right there will fling it right into here. And then that one will take it all the way to the top. And of course it runs on electricity, so they gotta plug it in. That's a little bit bigger than your average plug-in. Get on. What are you doing now?
Raising it up.
Oh, you're putting your jacks. Hydraulic jacks. You got hydraulic jacks down here. I had 4 guys to do that. Moved the whole thing about 20 feet in about 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. Boys are talented. It's like a well-oiled machine. Here comes the first truck. Now we were driving right through here. Now he's going to have to start driving through right here to line up with it. Everything's turned back on. Back to work.